So, you want to fall in love. There's something that I see now that I didn't see years ago. It's men acting like women, wanting to find that love of their life, chasing that girl, trying to make her fall in love with him. Well, back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, which most of you guys probably weren't there, and I was, it was the other way around. The woman was trying to nab the man. And actually before that too, if you read back in history, it was never the man romantically falling in love with the woman. I will say never, most of the time. There are exceptions. Romantically try to, get that woman, trying to please her, trying to get her to fall in love with him. It was always the woman chasing the man, and the man being busy on his mission, doing something worthwhile. He wasn't sitting around pining for some woman. Well, occasionally that would happen after you broke up with the woman. Maybe he would miss her. But what I see nowadays is men acting like women, like I said, talking about being vulnerable, showing their feelings, sharing with their loved one the wonderful life they're going to have together. This romantic love, don't get me wrong, it's great. It's a wonderful feeling, that emotion that I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called Eros love. You'll have to look that up. But they got different names. Agape love, Eros love. I call it impractical love. Now, it's a great feeling. It's the fall in love feeling. It's like when you meet someone and you just really connect with her and you feel great with her and everything's perfect and you see only the good in her. And she sees the same in you. And then when you add the physical part of that, the sex to that, then there's a connecting thing there that it's pretty cool. I've experienced that. But what happens is when a man gets head over heels in love with that feeling, and that's what he's in love with, because he's not really seeing the true person. Because we all have faults. We all get up and go to the bathroom. We all have biological functions. We all have our habits, our quirks, our things that after a period of time, when this romantic love wears off, get on our nerves. And this is what I see a lot in society today, is people falling in love, but not realizing that they're going to fall out of that type of love. And that's when the real love begins. When the honeymoon stage is over, that's when the real love begins. That's when you get up, you go to work, you do something for your spouse that you may not want to do, but you do it because you love her. It's not a feeling of love, it's a choice. Compared to when you first meet her, it's like, you want to do everything for her. You want to take care of her, you want to protect her, you want to give her what she wants, which may end the relationship prematurely if you start that crap. You just can't give her everything that you want to give her, because there's something about that. When you start doing that with the girl that you've fallen in love with, she starts to lose respect for you, because more often than not, she feels like that you're doing that to get or maintain her approval. Like you have to do these things to get her to like you. And she fell in love with you or had a strong attraction for you because of who you were, not for what you did for her. Because actually, up to the point before you met her, you had not done nothing for her. But there was something about when you two met that just clicked. And I get it. Us as men, we fall in love with a girl. She makes us feel good. We want to do things for her. We want to reciprocate. We want to show our appreciation. And a lot of times us men will buy things for women because we want to. We know that it makes her feel good, that she likes that she appreciates it. And more often than not, this will push her away. Even though you're not doing it because you feel like you have to get her approval or to keep her or to maintain the relationship, there's something, how would I say, evolutionarily embedded in her psyche that makes her feel like, why is this guy doing all this for me? Why does he buy me all these things? Why is he going out of his way to do things for me? Why is he stepping away from what's important to him to try to make me feel good? Does he think that little of himself? Why is he so excited about being with me? And if she's got a low self-esteem, then she's going to wonder, what's wrong with you that you think she's so great? Because she doesn't really feel like she's the best. Now, some of you may say, well, that's why you got to get a girl from a healthy family. Well, there are no 100% healthy families out there. Every family has its issues. Every family. You may look at it from the outside and think it's the perfect family. But I'll tell you what my mama always said, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. There's actually an old song about that, and we don't. What appears on the outer is not always what's going on the inner. So you're not going to find that perfectly healthy girl from that perfectly stable, functional family. All families are somewhat dysfunctional somewhere, although you may not be able to see it, but you would know it if you lived within that family. So forget about finding that perfect girl. And that girl that you met, that you think is perfect today, will become imperfect the more you get to know her. And vice versa. You too will become imperfect. But you have to accept each other's imperfections and realize that we're all human, well, divinely human, and we all make mistakes. We're all sinners. Oh my God, there's that word. Yes, we're all born sinners. And as I've told you guys before, sin comes from an Anglo-Saxon term, which means to miss the mark. In archery, that's all it is. So yes, we are all born to miss the mark, or if you like, to make mistakes. And thank God we are, because I don't know about you guys, but I learn a hell of a lot more from my mistakes than I ever learned from my victories. Because usually with a mistake, I feel somewhat uncomfortable. I feel emotional pain. I feel physical pain sometimes, depending on what the mistake is and what it caused to happen to me. And I learned from that. When you touch a hot stove, that's kind of painful. Guess what? Usually you don't do it twice because you learn from that. We learn from that. So yes, we learn from our sin. It's just that some religions have taken that word and made it into something like, oh my God, you're a sinner, you're terrible. No, you're human, you're divinely human, and you're going to make mistakes, and thank God you do, because you're going to learn from them. We all learn from them, from our failures, if you like. The greatest successes in life are also some of the greatest failures, because if you're not failing, you're not trying. So get out there and fail some more today. Get out there and try some more today. Don't be afraid to fail. And I also know, because I went to school for a few years, that we're taught in school that failure is bad. Oh my God, what if you get an F on your report card and you got to take it home and have it signed? Well, they don't do that anymore, but when I was a kid, we had to actually take the card home. Now I think it's all on computer. But the point is, you don't want to show your parents a failing grade because you feel unworthy, you feel ashamed, you feel not good enough. Well, at least you tried. And in life, we get programmed to believe that being a failure is bad. So why try? Better not to try and fail than to try and fail. What did I say? Better not to try, okay, and fail than to try and to fail. Okay? No. Better to try and fail than to never attempt at all. But we're taught that you don't want to fail. You're going to be ashamed. It's a shameful thing to fail. No, it's not. It's not. You have to try to succeed, and you have to fail over and over and over again to get the success you desire. And that's how all great successes became successful. And to use an old one that everybody knows, maybe you don't know, but most people do, but you'll know it after today. Thomas Edison tried over 10,000 times to invent the light bulb, and someone asked him, "Why do you continue to try after all those failures?" And he said, "I'm not failing, my son. I've just discovered one more way that it doesn't work, which brings me that much closer to the way that it will work. And now look outside at night, and we can see lights everywhere." So was he a failure? No, of course not. Did he fail? Yes, he did. But he continued trying. The only failures there are the ones who give up and don't get back up when things get tough. And I know that's not you. So get up, get out there, and fail today. And from that, you'll become the success you desire. Think about that. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Hit that like button and subscribe. Share this with a friend if you think it will be of value to them. See you next time.